Hello, my YouTube friends. So yesterday after the close, I added on to my Palo Alto Networks position, and then this morning I picked up some Nike. I'm going to talk about why I bought into those two stocks and see what you guys think. Good afternoon. My name is Adam Kahn, and this is Investing with Adam K. Hope you guys are doing well. Nice day here in Las Vegas. A little bit windy, but still nice out, like this time of year before it gets too hot. Anyway, so why did I buy Palo Alto Networks? And then I bought Nike, which I didn't own. Palo Alto Networks reported their earnings yesterday, and the street didn't seem to like it. The stock dropped like $30 right away. What I did is I waited until the conference call by the company and I sat in and listened to it. When I was listening to the CEO talk, I really liked what he had to say. Some of the things he was discussing is essentially the metrics that the analysts are using to value the stock. He almost thought it was funny that the stock price fell. He kind of said that it's a little bit outdated. And if I understood correctly, what he was explaining is as interest rates have gone higher, the cost of money has gone up, and the concept of having people pay up front has become a little bit more difficult, so to speak. So what they went to is essentially people being able to make payments instead of paying for the whole thing up front. The street's looking at their sales essentially and how much they've driven in those earnings. And what he's saying is you should really be looking at how much more business we're picking up and how many new clients we've taken on. And business is great. Not only is it great, they like the new payment structure because it commits people for a certain amount of time to stay with them and has them stick around. And I guess it's a really good way, in his opinion, to generate sales. On top of that, they do an analysis and they don't take on every client that comes to them because if they don't think they're in the position to be able to make those payments, they just don't take it on. My basic understanding is he felt like their matrix for evaluating the earnings and seeing what's good and bad is outdated and really didn't make sense. And their new way of billing, which is what they got beat up on for last quarter, is a much better way of doing business. It really made a lot of sense to me. And when he talked about how many new clients they had taken on and how much they're actually growing their business, which to me is more important as well, I just thought the same thing that kind of he thought, which is it was almost funny that the stock reacted poorly because they're bringing on a lot of new clients, which should drive good revenue going forward. Now, throughout the day today, it seems to be recovering and doing a lot better. After the close, it got as low as I think $290 a share. And last I looked, it was already around $315 a share. I still feel like that's kind of discounted. Their new agreement with IBM, there were questions on that, and his answers were great because it essentially gives them opportunity to get in front of clients today that might have taken years to get in front of and it allows them to really grow at a faster rate because I guess the AI that they're able to incorporate that IBM has in their wheelhouse is going to really push things faster and better and really secure the internet. So in the end, Palo Alto is a company that I have a good position in already. I added on some extra that I put on in my trading account because my thought process was if he's right, we should have a nice bounce, which we already did. I'm not sure if I'll just be happy and take it from where it is, but I do have it in my set it and forget it account that I don't really plan to sell anytime in the near future unless something changes in the company. And the funny thing is, it really helped me when I saw the stock down. My buddy Steve, who I talked about in the other video, who kind of was like, oh no, my answer to him was like, not really, oh no, able to pick up a great company at a lower price. So that's what I mean when bad news comes out on great companies. I think Palo Alto Networks is the best of the best in their space. I mean, maybe CrowdStrike too, but I really like Palo Alto and saw this as an opportunity to get it a little bit discounted. I sure didn't expect it to turn around that quickly, but I think long term they're just a great company that I want to own. And then why did I pick up Nike? Well, Similarly, Nike had some pretty bad earnings and some pretty bad news not that long ago. I had heard another YouTuber talking about it and the reasons he really liked it, and he made some good points, so I pulled up a chart. When I looked on the chart, if you look at a 5-year chart of Nike, they're pretty much back down to close to the lows that they went to during COVID. And I don't see them as a bad company. I think they might be going through a period where they have a little bit more competition and things in the economy are slowing down, which has hurt the stock a bit. But to be fair, when I look at their price to earnings ratio and I see where the stock fell to, my guess is you give a company like Nike some time and they'll continue to grow. I don't always think about Nike. They aren't one that I think of as the best companies I want to own. But really, to be fair to them, they really are a great company. They make unbelievable running shoes, and if you're a serious runner, they're a better product that might shave a few seconds off of your speed. And that's super important when it comes to that. They then have the Jordans, which people are willing to pay $400 or $500 for a pair of sneakers. I saw somebody in the comments make some comment about how they don't understand why somebody would be willing to do that. The funny thing is, I kind of responded and said, you don't have to understand it. You just have to know that people do that. Well, they do, and they buy the other items that they sell as well. They're super competitive, and they're getting into the data of all of it to be able to show how good their products are. Now, of course, Nike could have another quarter with bad earnings that'll push the stock lower, but it is bad news on a good company. It's been sitting and bouncing around this area for long enough that hopefully on the next quarter or the quarter after, they start having something that shows that they're still doing just fine, and the stock shows some relief and starts going higher. Again, not one I plan to own for the next 10 years. I mean, I guess that could change depending on what happens with the earnings and everything else. I just worry that clothing companies are a little fickle. Um, it's really hard if you get into women's fashion because it goes in and out of style all the time. I'm actually really impressed that Lululemon has done as well as it has for as long as it has. Generally, I see women's fashion go in and out of favor much quicker. I've also put two companies on my watch list. So what I do when I think of a watch list, I pretty much buy one share of each because they're beginning to look attractive to me, but I don't want to buy them yet. So yesterday, Target announced that they're going to slash prices on a lot of products. For those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, I think you're aware. I bought it when it had a ton of bad information before, and it drove the stock down to as low as like $104 a share. I got out of that trade not that long ago when they reported their last earnings and they were really good and really optimistic, figuring, boy, that was a really good run in a very short amount of time. But now that things seem kind of iffy and maybe this quarter they're reporting in a couple of days, what I'm hoping is that's not great and maybe it drives the stock back down to, I'm hoping, around $130 a share. It would be a company I would reconsider again and maybe get back into. Now, I'm not real anxious. I'm not looking to do a whole lot here. I probably think it's pretty fairly valued. But I think they're a decent company, and if they get to the point that I think they're a good price again, I'd be happy to get in again and see if I get lucky. The other one I started watching, and I bought one share just to put it on the screen, is Ulta Beauty. They've had a rough run the past few quarters. Their announcement recently is that they're going to be on the lower end of their annual, what they expect to make. But it's nothing terrible, and their price to earnings is pretty good. The other thing is they found in the past, even in slowdowns, people tend to continue to buy makeup. So I'm guessing they'll actually perform just fine whether the economy is doing well or poorly. And the makeup space seems to be a really good one to be in. I'm not looking to jump in right today, but it is one I'm starting to keep an eye on. Again, if it looks to they report soon as well, I'm hoping they fall from there, and then I'll make a decision what I want to do, and I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow or another day this week. Have a good day. Bye bye. Oh, before I forget, geez, look at me already going. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, make some comments. It's been really cool. Again, we're over 20,000 subscribers now, which I can't thank you guys enough. It's been nice watching the channel do better. And if you guys have advice for traveling in Europe, let me know where you think I should go. We're probably going to go this summer for a little bit. I know we're going to go to Italy for some, and then we'll decide what we want to do from there. We tend to kind of bounce around and make our decisions once we're there. But if you guys have been and there's certain spaces that we might not know about that would be cool, by all means, let me know what you think and maybe I'll check it out. Have a great day.